Let me start this off by making my stance clear. I do not associate myself with Gamergate, nor do I associate myself with social justice warriors or the anti-Gamergate movement. I know this makes me sound like useless moderate, but I want to explain where I'm coming from. I discovered Gamergate through the internet Aristocrat. I'm sure all of you know who that is. I thought his videos were objective and on point for the most part. I also happened to agree with him on politics, and I thought he was a genuinely funny guy. That's what got me into Gamergate, and the reason I associated with it at some point. What I soon realized though was just how retarded most other Gamergate spokespeople are, at least the most notable ones. After hearing some really insane shit during some IA streams, I actually looked up some of these people, watched their videos, and I can safely say that I could not find one person whose opinion I thought was worth a damn. Some of them were tinfoil hat wearing crazy conspiracy theorists, others seemed to be just riding on the controversy to get their channel some attention, and others were setting themselves up as spokespeople when all they did was just poke fun at social justice warriors. Which I'm not condemning, mind you. Social justice warriors are insane, they should be made fun of. What I'm condemning is acting as if you're actually raising valid points where all you're doing is making dickless and faggot jokes. I just want to bring some actual thinking to the table. I don't plan to turn this into an anti-Gamergate channel or an anti-social justice warrior channel. I don't plan to review every single spokesperson for both sides. I just see this as my way to vent. I just want to vent some anger. What you see on Google Plus is obviously not my real name. I never used my voice on the internet before. Thank God for that. As you can probably tell, I'm not a native English speaker. I know the language well enough, I just never figure out a way not to sound ridiculous while speaking it. Anyway, now that I got the introductions out of the way, let's just get to the subject of this video, which is Sargon's response to the Internet Aristocrat's final message. You're probably all familiar with it, I will put the link in the description anyway. This video was linked to me by a friend, and I was baffled by how really counter-logical his own arguments are. I watched a few videos of his, but I think this one exemplifies the problems with the Gamergate movement best. You'll see what I mean in a bit.
For anyone else in any other industry, any one of these things would have been the death knell of their careers. But what we're facing is a culture of corruption, and so they all defend each other. There is nothing to do now. There are no more attacks to be made because they have used what would normally be the loss condition, the fail state, as their weapon. What can we do? What can be done? What do you expect to be done? I can't see what you're saying. Attack, 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 and get them to say what? What more could they say?
Now, what Sargon is saying is that the only way he has to attack is to insult the other side and get them to say something stupid. That does not surprise me, seeing how most of his videos are just outright mocking with no valid points being raised. How do you fight a system based on corruption? By attacking its income sources. You follow the money. Sending letters to developers, voicing your disapproval about the politics of sites like Otaku, Polygon, Rock Paper Shotgun and Gamasutra was attacking. Insulting people on the internet is just fucking around. As a self-entitled philosopher, I would not expect you to get stumped on the definition of attack.
And the only thing left to do is to build a new press. To get people who have integrity to write for the consumer and not for themselves or for the industry. We need to put our money where our mouths are. These things cost money. They don't just fall out of the fucking sky. I mean, what I don't understand is there's nothing wrong with making money if you've earned it. Hard work deserves to be rewarded, and I'm quite happy with the capitalist system we actually live in. I don't want to become a fucking Marxist. I don't want to live in a communist society. Therefore, I think that if people do work hard and they put the time and effort in, they deserve to be rewarded for it.
You know what? I actually agree with this. If there were to be a new form of gaming journalism, people who think about the consumer should be in charge. These things do cost money, and money has to be made in some form or another. What I disagree with is that making YouTube videos should be considered hard work. It's not like they are producing entertainment with production values. These videos, including mine, are done on zero budget using still images. I do like capitalist society and I do love money. I burn through everything I earn like a dumbass, but you know what I do to get money? I wake up and I go to my fucking job. That's capitalism. You provide a service for somebody and you get paid for it. Not to mention, he's making it sound like IA is attacking people who are actually raising funds for new gaming journalist websites or whatever, when you can clearly hear in his video he's attacking people who earn money for themselves through Patreon and Indiegogo campaigns. You can start to see why Sargon will want to define attacking as a verbal abuse to your adversary. He cannot attack their income sources because he gets money the same exact way. He has a Patreon, he monetizes video, all that shit. You can't say that Zoe Quinn is wrong in taking advantage of her media connections to gain popularity and boost her Patreon, and then do the same exact thing, use Gamergate to gain popularity and gain money through YouTube ads and Patreon, which are not going to causes, are going to your own pockets. That's why he wants to paint IA as some sort of Marxist for attacking people like him, and that's why he wants to make you think that Gamergate is just an argument between two sides exchanging insults. He can't attack their income because he gains money the same exact way as they do. Sure, a new breed of gaming journalism will need money to work. That money sure as fuck won't come from a Patreon account or your YouTube ads. That money should come from company sponsors to support actual gamers, the same sponsors that you should be informing of how some major video game websites have been alienating and insulting their user base. That's what attack means, not calling SJWs faggots over the internet, which incidentally is something that you still do even though you yourself mentioned that's pointless.
And that's the thing about crowdfunding. It's actually a fucking godsend. It's a blessing. It allows people who want something to exist and couldn't get it done without corporate interference to subvert that corporate interference. It's democracy in action. Put your money where your mouth is. If you want to see something exist, help it exist. I'm not saying don't be critical. I'm not saying don't be skeptical. Interrogate the people who you think you want to support. Make sure they deserve it. Make sure they're going to work for it. Damn hard. But don't sit there and say that the principle of making money in a capitalist society is wrong. It's fucking not. It's not unethical to make money.
Again, he's putting words into the guy's mouth. Okay, so he donated $10. That doesn't explain the gap between what he earns and what the Gamergate movement earns. He's making it sound like internet aristocrats attacked the Gamergate movement at large for earning money for the cause, when really he attacked the single people for gaining money throughout the cause, which is something completely different. IA actually defended crowdfunding in one of his videos. I seem to remember he mentioning that it's a great thing, but it can easily be used to be a scam, to scam people. Which, can you really deny that happened? Can you really call Anita Sarkeesian crowdfunding campaigns democracy in action? What are you fighting against? I don't get that. It seems to me that you're perfectly fine for the way things are going. It's just that whoever is in charge is pushing an agenda that doesn't fit you. SJWs get money through Patreon, Kickstarter, Indiegogo, through massive propaganda, and that's fine to you because that's democracy in action. At the same time, gaming websites who operate this propaganda are still financed, are still sponsored by big gaming companies, which you don't think there's any need to attack. You don't think there's any need to attack at all. So really, what is it that you're against? Is it the social justice agenda in and of itself? Because I wouldn't want any agenda to be pushed through gaming, especially not by people who use gaming to scam other people into giving them money. You seem more preoccupied about defending people who earn stuff with Gamergate than about Gamergate itself.
I don't know why you wouldn't monetize your videos. You must have stacks of cash hidden away somewhere or something. Because for everyone else in the real world, they're like, well, I could use more money. And if I've worked hard to produce good videos, why shouldn't I be paid for them, you know?
And this is where it gets to me. He's not saying the word privilege, but it's basically the same argument. He's saying that if you do not do what I do, it must be because you're filthy rich. It can't possibly be because you're putting the cause ahead of your personal gain, and maybe by not monetizing your videos, you cannot be accused of just riding on the controversy to gain money and thus giving more credibility to your movement. No, that must be because you're a rich white man who swims in cash all day. If someone sacrifices personal gain to give your cause more credibility, you should appreciate that. You shouldn't just call that person stupid because he's not earning as much as you, or a privileged rich man because maybe he doesn't need the money. He's doing it for you. To give Gamergate the littlest bit of fucking respect. You guys are a fucking joke right now. I don't think your movement can accomplish anything on any level anymore. I don't see any actual money being invested in an alternative. I don't see investors being contacted. I don't see people sending letters to game companies anymore. By the way, thank you Mundane Matt for that. Right now, the only thing I see most Gamergaters do, and mind you, I do still think there are good people among the Gamergate community, but what most of them do, and what the most vocal ones especially do, is just get money, it's just get rich. They don't attack, they don't present an alternative, they just make fun of the other part and get money through Patreon. That's what IA was trying to say in his last video, and that's why he left this fucking movement. You guys have turned into the same exact thing that you were fighting against. And that's pretty sad. Anyway, sorry for my rambling, I just can't understand if Sargon is really that stupid to completely misread what his friend was trying to say, or if he's just trying to push a narrative on him in which he just hates money, he hates people who make money, which is not the case at all. It was pretty clear in who he was attacking. He was attacking people who gain money through internet fame, and he's been doing that since the beginning. It's just that now both sides have these people, and it really bums me out. And yes, I'm aware that I sound awkward, I'm aware that this video sucks, but it's not really my thing. I never did a YouTube video before, and I'm using Windows Movie Maker, which is always a bad fucking idea. Anyway, I'm rambling again. Bye, and don't forget to check your privilege every day.